Good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to Mission for Christ Ministries. I am probably one of the most hated YouTube pastors in the world. Thank you. We are back today with Honoring Our Heroes, Part 2, with Michael Olson. He is a former Navy dog trainer and 6-year former volunteer firefighter. And if you tuned into our first segment, we are now going into the second one. I urge you to watch the first one. Our ministry strongly supports our military and first responders. And I urge you, if you are a first responder or a military personnel, active or non-active, veteran of any rank, please email me at missionforchristmen@gmail.com. Well, good afternoon, Michael.
Good afternoon, Pastor.
I hope you're doing well today. I might need you to talk a little louder for me, if you're able to.
Okay, let me do this. Is that a little bit better?
I believe so.
How's that?
That's better.
All right.
Well, Michael, on our last interview, I said that I was going to ask you 3 particular questions. I was going to ask you if you remembered your first call, your last call, and I know you have many that get to you at night, but the one that comes back most to your memory. So let's start with the first call. Your first time ever being out and getting that call. What was it like, and what kind of call was it?
It was the middle of the day. It was a work week. I remember that. I had taken the afternoon off to train with my training officer. Each of us rookies had a member that was trained and would assist you in your training. So that you knew what was going on. I'd already finished my state of Florida calls for volunteers, and that meant that I was allowed to don the breathing apparatus and enter structure fires. My first call happened to be a call for smoke in a house. You don't know what you got until you get there. We were the closest. I was lucky enough to be selected for the team to go in. Actually, it turned out to pretty much be a nothing call. One roommate had tried to burn the other one's wicker table. Unfortunately, it didn't burn very well, but it did give us an introduction to smoke and how fast that you can lose your way if you're not paying attention.
Wow. So luckily your first call wasn't that horrific call.
No, actually it was the kind of call that we wish they all were. Where we get there, the property damage is minimal and there's no injuries, no loss of life.
Well, Michael, what was your last call?
That's a good one. I had to think a while on that one. My last call, I was actually at work. At that time, I was working for a plumbing company, and my pager went off, and we just happened to be driving within a half mile of the intersection. We had a call for a motorhome on fire in the middle of the highway. And sure enough, when I rolled up in my truck with my plumbing helper, there was a Winnebago on fire, and it was well involved, and we had one engine on scene with just the engineer, who's the paid man, and another man on the nozzle. We keep reconnects on the hose that you can just flake off. Instant water, no wasting time. It has a nozzle on it. You're ready to go. I hopped off. I'd already Yeah, I was an engineer, qualified as an engineer already, so I took over for the engineer, and he went ahead and did his thing. He had bunker gear on, so he donned the breathing apparatus and helped the other fella. And they put the fire out and in quick order, and it was towed away, and that was my last call.
So
So
thankfully,
there was no loss of life, but there was loss of a Winnebago.
there was no loss of life. So your first call and your last call, oddly, are very similar.
Yes, yeah, kind of. Vehicle fires are just dangerous in so many different ways. You don't know what's inside. If you're standing in front of a vehicle that has hydraulic bumpers, they can blow off and take you out at the knees with, high velocity. You wouldn't believe how hard a bumper can shoot off with the hydraulics behind it. A tire can blow. Older Winnebagos and older trucks that split rim tires, those babies can kill you.
Wow.
And you never know what's in the vehicle. They could have had propane bottles where you have a boiling liquid expanding vapor explosion called a blevy. So thankfully that one, yes, was also put out in quick order, and it was a total loss, but nobody was injured on either end.
Well, praise God for that.
Amen.
My last question, well, this may be my last question because looking at the time that YouTube gives us is a hard question. So I'm just going to come out and ask you, what is the call that comes to your memory the most, that haunts you?
This is the one that kept me up last night. And many other nights. I never spoke to my wife about it. We were called to a Signal 20. We did both 10 codes and Signal codes. Signal 20 was a car wreck. We were told there were injuries. Now, we did not do medical. We were fire only. The county, we were in an unincorporated area. So the county provided law enforcement and ambulance. And I would like to thank all of those men and women that are out there every day doing pretty much a thankless job.
Yes.
Like I said last time, every day or every call is potentially somebody's very worst day. And this call was. A lady had a car pull out in front of her, and she did not have her child properly secured in the vehicle. She did have, it was a 2-year-old little blonde girl. I remember that vividly. She had her in a car seat, but did not have the car seat belted in, and she T-boned a truck that turned in front of her. She had no choice. Mom was severely injured, and we were first on the scene. We happened to be at the station that time. We'd been out on a false alarm, and the rule was if you roll off the pad, you wash the truck. We rolled off the pad, so we were washing the truck. You do a lot of that. Taxpayers' money. So we got there before law enforcement or ambulance. The other two men in the truck with me went to the vehicles. One was smoking or steaming. You want to disconnect batteries quick. I noticed the child seat up ahead in the road that was that left the vehicle completely. And I remember looking at this little girl. She was sitting with her head bowed, and she looked perfectly fine. And I got down on my knees in front of her and started trying to talk to her, and she had her eyes shut. I noticed a little blood on her forehead, and I reached out to try, brush her hair out of the way so I could see, what was going on and give the EMT some kind of heads up when they got there. And when I went to brush her little one airbag, the top of the skull flipped backwards, and it was just a cavity.
Oh my
And when I looked
goodness.
back at the car, I realized that when she had exited the car, she had left her ring on the inside of the windshield.
Oh my goodness.
And that's something that you just can't prepare for. You can't train for that.
No, you
You do
can't.
the training so you can carry on in that situation, but at that time, they didn't think about PTSD or, stuff like that. We had a department chaplain. He was a chaplain, really, with no disrespect, Mr. Miller. He was a chaplain in name only. He just happened to be the most church-going guy in the department. And he did what he could, but those type of calls where you get that, we didn't sit around. If you had a good call, say you made a rescue or you put out a structure fire right off the bat, we did quick attacks on fires. We worked on the assumption the quicker you get in, get a fog. We put out a structure fire with 3 gallons of water. First floor gets you fully involved. 30-degree fog for a second and a half. 3 gallons of water, and steam forces the oxygen out. Fires out. Of course, you have other work to do, but those type of calls, you go down to the coffee shop, you're still wired with the adrenaline, and you drink coffee at 3 in the morning, and then you go home and you go to sleep, hoping the pager doesn't go off, and you get 2 hours before you have to go to work. But the calls like that where there's fatalities, you
just don't get over.
You don't get over, and you don't really talk about it. This is something that my children don't know, my grandchildren don't know, my mother doesn't know, my wife didn't know. She was on the department as a service support team member, but she didn't roll on all the calls. She rolled only on serious structure fires, so she could help change out air bottles and stuff. Vehicle accidents she didn't go to.
Well, Michael, that's a very sad story. We have like 2.5 minutes left. I want to ask you this car seat situation. I'm sure that you've seen many of those. With the 2 minutes we got left, what would you say to the parents that just throw their kids in the car seat and not properly strap them down?
You are risking your child's life every time you do that. It can happen in a split second, like it did this lady. People don't realize it, but accidents happen, and you can't stop things. That's another thing I'd like to mention when we're on that topic. Secure your children, even if they're too old for a car seat. I know in our area, if you cannot afford a car seat, you're genuinely low income. The highway patrol used to give them to people.
Yes, and that they still do. They still do. So hats off to.
Yes. Yes. And the other thing is, secure loose objects. They become missiles.
Yes.
If you have a concrete block in the back and you're doing 65, and somebody pulls out in front of you, you stop that block's going 65 miles an hour, and it can take your child through the window with it.
Well, that's
very important. I would urge people to hold fire drills. Make a game out of it. Put a blindfold over your eyes and try this. Starting at your front door, walking in, or crawling in, put the blindfold on, and keep one hand, even if it's your left or right, on the wall, and see how far you can get.
Now, Michael,
around your house, because you have to stay in contact with the wall.
I have 10 minutes. I want to do a third interview, and I would like for you to talk to us about that on the next interview.
That would be wonderful.
Our time is up on YouTube here, but thank you for tuning in. Again, missionforchristministries.com. We stand and we salute our first responders and our military. Thank you for tuning in. Stand by for the third part 3. Thank you and God bless.